Hello and welcome to this second video in creating online sessions. Now, in the first video, we looked at how to start preparing for the recording of your session. And in this video, I'm actually going to talk about recording. Yes. Now, if you're not familiar with me, my name's Ian Wilson. This is my digital version of me, and I am quite interested in online learning and especially making content for it. Okay, so in this video, we're going to talk about the recording aspect of it. Now, you might be sat there thinking, good grief, does he need to take up a whole video just on how to record? Surely all we do is press the record button. Well, when I actually started to make content some years ago for either online learning or for YouTube content, I really did look at YouTube videos and content and thought, wow, that's easy, anybody can do that. And do you want to know, I actually discovered that it wasn't. It's actually become easier over the years, the more I've done it. But I think that's because of the amount of time and effort I put in to preparing the videos, to make them more interesting, to develop them more and allow that effective communication. So enough waffle, let's get on with it. Here are my top 5 tips for recording your content. So, it might seem a very simple first point, but trust me, it is really important. It is imperative that you are prepared. Now, I used to think that due to my day job, being a teacher and a lecturer, I could actually sit down and talk in front of a webcam for a few minutes without stumbling or prepping. I quickly found out that this was not the case. Okay, and if you're sat there thinking, oh, I can do that, then hats off to you, because you're a better person than me. So in the previous video, I talked about preparing scripts and notes, but have these ready, but also be prepared in other ways. Make sure that anything that is going to make a noise or interrupt your recording is turned off. What I really suggest you do is record a segment to start off as a test, and then to actually listen back, because you will be surprised what the mic, mine's up here, will actually pick up. Okay, so make a test recording and go back. You might suddenly find that you can hear your washing machine in the background, or in my case, when Basil, my floor robot, springs into action, and you can just hear it going backwards and forwards in the background. Also, make sure you're prepared, make sure you're comfortable, wearing suitable attire. Yes, I'm really bad, I tend to wear stripes or dots or anything which makes the video all go funny, but make sure you're comfortable, and don't forget to get yourself a hot or a cold drink and put it to one side. You may be in front of the camera for some time, and I can guarantee your mouth will dry out, and it's always helpful to have a swig of water in between takes. Apart from that, just make sure you look happy, you're happy with yourself in front of the camera, make sure it's framed correctly, you're sat properly, and then you're ready to go. Just remember those famous words: fail to plan, plan to fail. So everything is prepared, you're ready to go, and I mentioned it a bit in the preparing because of the noise, but always please make a test recording just to make sure everything is working. The number of times I've sat down and talked for about 5 minutes into the camera and then suddenly realized that the mic was on mute. Okay, and then that's it, you have to do it all again. So make sure everything is done and everything is set up and everything is ready to go. Okay, so you've got your script and your plan there with you, and what I suggest you do is record your content in chunks, in segments. Okay, If you are editing this later, i.e. you're going to put those chunks together, then you could do your session in very small clips, whatever you feel comfortable actually recording the amount of time. Just do it in small clips and then we can put them together later. And in the next video I'm going to be talking about editing, and don't worry, it's quite simple, and because it's simple you can get a really good finished product that people go, ooh, impressed by that. So bear with that, but I'll talk about that in the next video. Okay, so if you are not editing, okay, then make sure you record your content in sort of like segments for the students or the learners to look back on. So you might sort of like do the introduction, segment 1, segment 2, or part 1, part 2. And don't forget to name them like this. Actually name them introduction, part 1, part 2. Okay, so when you uploaded them to your virtual learning or to YouTube or whatever, then you can see the order. This is also really useful for the students or learners to navigate around at a later date. If you are going down the editing approach, then I suggest you have something that you say before you start recording the actual content. So for myself, I press the record button and I go 3, 2, 1. Hello. Like that. Now this allows me to find that editing point. Okay, I also do it when I'm podcasting and sort of like linking sound bites together. So it's very easy, and believe me, you will thank me later. I'm always worried when I'm doing these that I'm coming across really patronizing. I hope I'm not. I'm just trying to share what I do in a hope that it might be helpful for someone. Okay then, next point is so important, and it's probably the hardest one to do. When you're recording, try to look straight down the lens of the camera. Okay, your eyes will dart around like mine are doing all the time as I quickly glance down at my script or over at my software to see what's recording. But for the majority of time, try to look down the lens. This is really, really important because it actually allows you to connect with the learners. If you're looking down the lens at them, then they will see you looking at them, and there's that real connection. Some people might say, oh, that's actually quite threatening. But it's not. It actually promotes that feeling of inclusion, that you're actually engaging with them. And you can do it, you just have to practice and practice. The other thing that I would say at this point, it's really important where your webcam is. So my webcam, I'm sat at a desktop computer, the monitor's in front of me, and the webcam is right on top of the monitor. So it's coming directly across to my eye line. So I'm not looking down like this. I'm nicely framed, well, I hope I am, in the picture, okay? And I'm not sort of like right the way down here looking up at you. Okay, so look down the lens. I'm looking at you. Okay, yes, you probably didn't expect to see that word in my top 5, but yes, you need to perform. You need to perform. Now, if you watch back some of my unedited clips, you will see something quite remarkable. As soon as the clip is finished, okay, you will notice that my face relaxes before I turn off the recording. Watch carefully and you'll see it now. Now, this is because when you are recording and when you're teaching, you are performing. It's very important to do this, and far too often online learning resources become very dry and monotone in their delivery. Think about how you teach. Okay, or how you stand in front of a group of people and present. The most engaging speakers that you see are people who engage with their audience with eye contact, hence looking down the camera, but also they seem relaxed. They make mistakes, but that just seems to be normal. They smile, they relax, they maybe tell jokes. They are human. Their arms might wave around the place, they might move around, and too often, I think, as soon as we turn the webcam on, we suddenly feel that we have to behave like news readers and say, "Good evening, and here is the news." That is not the case at all. Okay, people want to engage with you, they want to connect with you, and that's why it's important to perform and engage and make the learner feel that you're talking to them. Okay, yeah, seems strange. It does seem a bit strange, but no, think about your ending. It's so important, and otherwise it could be really difficult to decide how to finish a video or a lecture. I tend to develop a set phrase or a set group of words or actions, and I use that and I become very used to that phrase and sort of like slip into it. It helps me not to panic or to prevent me stumbling over the closing remarks or ending up going, "Yeah, right, okay then, that's it." Okay, try to make it helpful and friendly. Try to recap about the video. So I might say at the end of this one, "I hope this has helped you record your content for online use." Something like that. Make it almost like a virtual plenary to sum up the video. And always smile at the end before you stop the recording. Even if you're in a meeting, an online meeting, and when it comes to the end and you're disconnecting, always smile, okay, and press the disconnect button. Why? Well, it's one way to prevent the video freezing on probably not your best face that you could pull. Although, as you can see from the next clip, it's not always possible. And that's it. Your recording should be done and saved and ready to go. Some of you will just now upload the content how it is and share that with the learners, and it'd be absolutely fantastic. But I just would like to talk in the next video about editing. It's not that difficult at all, and it can really improve the overall appearance of your content. So enjoy making your content, and I'll see you back here for part 3. Have fun, everyone. See ya. Bye. You can probably guess my ending now.